Alright guys, I'm going to be working on a second video for you guys today. This video we're going to take a look at iMovie. This is the free application that comes with most iOS devices. You can download it to your iPhone, your iPad, many different versions of the devices, meaning even the older iPads and the older iPhones will be able to utilize this app. The thing today is that, when you're looking at social media, most people are producing, really high production value content. And if you want to stand out, among that huge ocean of content that's out there on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, wherever it is that you post your content, the key today is to give your footage somewhat of a cinematic look. And what I mean by that is that there's an order to it, that you have some kind of control over what you're posting. So whether that's, using titling or special features or filters, all of those things are going to come into play. iMovie offers a very limited yet effective platform for creating content. So let's just start off with creating a new project. So you see the little tile here with the X. With the plus, you click on that. So you have two choices here. You can either create a trailer or you can create a movie. Trailers will allow you to create some little files that are very short that have a theme connected to them. So let's say if you wanted to do something like this, this is what it looks like and sounds like. You kind of get the idea. So depending on which of the title clips that you choose, it'll give you a different effect. Now, some of these are really, really cheesy, but you could use them in small pieces. So you could create one of these trailers and then cut it up and use it throughout your video. That's just, a really simple, free way to get some content out there. So even, some of the ones like this one, so if you decided you were going to go with this particular one, this trailer, you would click on create. And then what would happen is you have a storyboard here. Let's start with the beginning. This is your viewer. Near the bottom is where you're going to tap to do the outline. So you have a storyboard where you would go in and choose the files that you would want to fit into those spaces. So let's say if you had a video, it would go here, here, here. All of these are going to be video clips. So you would have to fill out basically all of these clips, and they kind of give you the length of time that each one of the clips will be present in the screen. Like this first one here is 4.1 seconds. The next one is going to be 4.3, then it drops down to 1.8, and then the following one is 3.0. Now, why is that important? If you look at most YouTubers and the content they're creating, they do really, really quick transitions between one clip to another clip, unless it's something like for us motor bloggers, if you're out there and you're riding and you're just riding along, then you're just showing the footage of what's happening throughout the day. But let's say you're at an event and you just want to show the highlights, so you would show 3 seconds of this, 5 seconds of that, 10 seconds of this, so on and so on. That's how you would create your timeline to make the video efficient as well as entertaining. So last night I started editing a screen recording that I did on the iPad here. It came out to be 16 minutes and 33 seconds. So we're going to take a look at that really quick, and I'll show you exactly what I did. So when we open the project, what I had to do was I went in and I brought in my intro that was already pre-recorded, and I just saved that from LumaFusion. And I just saved it as a video file. So when I brought it in, it had the entire video file, which was the intro and the outro. So I just cut them where I could place the intro in the beginning. Then I would do a simple transition that would go into the content itself. And then at the very end, I have the outro. So there we go. So let me show you exactly how I went about doing that. Now, there's a number of different cuts here, and you'll do that throughout any production that you do. There'll always be mistakes or things that you may want to take some of the audio out or something like that. So originally I went in here and I said, okay, well, I need to add my audio. So you would go here to the little plus, and you have the option. You have two tabs at the bottom. One is for media and the other one is for audio. So let's look at audio really quick. So one of the cool things in audio is that you have soundtracks. So you can go in here and you can choose many different soundtracks that you can use in your videos. So if you pick one of these. So let's listen at a few more. And let's see, let's go down here to the themes. These are going to sound more like what comes with the themes if you're using the trailer. But here, let's say you got, holiday and events, you have action. So if you're doing like something that has a lot of, energy, not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad, and it's free. So if you have your own music, then you could just go here and find your own music. I suggest if you're going to be uploading a video, make sure you're using royalty-free music or you have the rights to the music. If not, many times YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms will either mute the audio or they'll remove the video altogether. So if you don't want to go through that headache, hey, forewarned. They also have a number of sound effects in here. So you can add these, in different places throughout your clip. Like here's one for camera, car, clock, whistle. And there's quite a few of them in here, so it just depends on what you're looking for. And there's a number of sites you can download more of these and put them, on your file, on your system, and then you can just, import those as you need to. So that's the audio section of it. So here you would find your media. So you could, if you know that it's a video you're going to be looking for, most likely if it's saved on an iOS device, it's going to show up under video. So you could just go in here and find the video clip that you're looking for, and you say, okay, well, I want this specific clip. You just tap on it, and I'm gonna place this at the beginning because I wanna show you guys something else. So it'll just drop it at the very beginning of the video. And then you can go in and cut wherever you want to. So let's say if we wanted to cut this clip, maybe right here, you just highlight the clip. And you see where the white line, your pointer line is here on the screen. If you swipe straight down that line, it will cut the clip in half, just like that. The other option is to use the split command, which is at the bottom tab here. You have split, detach audio, and duplicate. So if you hit split, it'll split the clip in half. And the other things that you have under here is you can also control speed. So if you go into your speed, you can make this video really, really slow, which is going to slow it down tremendously. Yeah, that's kind of trippy. Or you could bring it up really fast.
Because other people's maybe.
That could even be queued in some application. But ideally what you would want to do, if that's something you're going to be doing in iMovie, what I would recommend is that first thing you would do is to remove the, look at your audio And then what I would do is I would detach the audio from the file itself. So I would go into Actions, Detach Audio. So even if you slow this down, you won't necessarily lose or distort your audio. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you are here and you say, okay, well, I'm going to make this really, really fast, it shouldn't, no, but it looks like it actually does, because the audio is going to be stuck to that file. And I don't see a way to unlink it. So that's an issue. Let's see what it looks like when we play it back. Yep. So even with the audio here, you can take this track and the audio is locked. That's one of the things that is a huge limitation to iMovie, because you see how far the audio is now encroached upon the other video, because it's being expanded, because we're slowing down this clip, it's lengthening the audio track to make it even longer. So one of the things you could do is just go in and delete the audio, and now you could still have that slow motion. And if you're going to be adding audio to your clip, then this is not going to be a problem. So I just wanted to show you guys that really quick. So let's get rid of these files. So again, as I said before, I brought in the video clip, which was my intro and outro. And then from here, I just went through and looked for different parts of the video that I wanted to utilize from this screen recording. So one of the other things that you can do in iMovie is add titles. The titles are locked. So there's basically two positions your title can display. So if we go here to standard title, it's just going to pop up right here at the top. So you can tap on it, and then you can then change your text, to whatever you want it to be. And the other thing that you can do here is you can decide if it's going to be centered where it is now, or if it's going to be a lower third. And that will place the title down near the bottom, but those are the only two choices you have, which is centered and lower. The other option that you have dealing with titles, some of the titles, well, almost all of the titles in iMovie have sound effects. So if you don't want those sound effects to pop up during your video, then you would turn the sound effects off. And that's pretty much it for the titles. Now you have, a few different titles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different titles. But the problem with it is, anyone with iMovie that's ever done any type of a movie production project in iMovie will recognize all of these titles, because it's exactly the same titles. Now, one of the new features that you can do in iMovie is you can add green screen graphics or PNGs. You can drag those in and place them above and use them like a title. You could create that in another file program like Photoshop, if you're using Photoshop, or Infinity Photo, or there's a ton of other free apps out there that you can do the same thing. The most important thing is, once you create your text and maybe any graphics you're going to add to it, just when you save it, make sure you're saving it as a PNG with a transparent background. So that's that. Now, in between each of these files is a transition, or an opportunity for a transition. And you see the little square between these two clips. If you tap on it once, you have none, the theme. If you were doing a theme production, I'll show you where you find your themes. It can dissolve, it can slide, it can wipe, and it can fade. So if you're using a dissolve, and we play this for recording and editing video. So let's start off with this first app. And it's really quick. It's just a little simple wipe. And you can do a slide, which basically would just let it slide right in. So let's start off with this. You don't see too much of it here because this is, linear. So everything on this timeline, it's just one thing after the other. But even the fade or something like that, if you were editing video. So let's start off with this. So if you were doing individual clips and you were wanting to do some type of transition those are available to you. Personally, I prefer, just a straight cut and just cut from one thing to the next. Most likely, you've seen, a number of TV shows, movies. They don't use a lot of transitions. They literally just do a simple cut from one scene to the next, and you can easily do that in iMovie. So that's not going to be a problem. So I mentioned there are themes. So if you click on this little cogwheel up here at the top, there are project filters where you can choose a filter for your project. So let's say you want it to be black and white, or this blast, blockbuster, blue, camo, dreamy. This is a dual tone. This one is going to be it's called silent era, so it's going to have that undersaturated black and white look, vintage, and then it has like a Western theme. So those are the only project filters you have. Then you also have your themes, which usually you would use if you were creating a certain type of video. It would produce a theme, and I'll put something together later to explain that. Now, also down here you have your theme soundtrack, your fade to black, your fade out from black, and little things like that. Now, let's see, speed pitch change. So let's turn that on, and let's take a look at something really quick. So we're going to go back to our video, this video. We're going to bring it back in, and I'm talking in this video. I think I am. Well, maybe I'm not. So let's find one where I'm definitely talking. Well, at least there's some sound. Okay, so let's just choose that one. And we play it. So let's go in and take a look at, if we adjust the speed, will the audio still follow that? So if we bring the speed up, or we bring the speed down, it looks like the audio is staying with the clip, and it's not expanding beyond. Now, it is going to make it sound weird, but it's not going to bleed now into your other clips. So I think you guys get the idea. So let's get rid of that clip. So there aren't very many other features in iMovie, but it's very simple. You just bring in your footage to your timeline. From your viewer, drag it in, and then you just go in and start editing your content. Now, there are two other buttons right here above your timeline. One is a little small microphone, and you can click on that, and you can record a voiceover. The other one you can click on, and it will allow you to take a photo. So if you wanted to add a photo of something that you see right to your timeline, you could just take a photo of that and it would just come right in. And up at the very top, there's a little question mark. If you press on that question mark, it'll show you highlights, hints as to what all the different things do. Like at the very top here where it says done is back to project, the My Movie, and over here you have your themes, music, and add, fades and fade to black or whatever it is. It shows you what each one of the little tabs does here. So for instance, when you're bringing in a clip, you can decide if it's going to be a cutaway, picture in picture, or if it's going to be a split screen. If you bring in something that has a blue or green screen, or if it's just you just want to bring in just the audio. So you can make that selection before you actually bring the file into iMovie. So, excuse me. And then you also have your waveforms down here. This undo, basically what it does is whenever you, if you make a mistake, you can just hit the undo and it will just, reverse it. And then at the very bottom here, you have a learn more. You can click on that and that may take you to Apple's website where you can see more about iMovie, which is their help file, and you can then choose, basic information, how to create a movie project, how to create a trailer, so on and so on. Basic information on how to edit your clip, how to edit a trailer, so on and so on. So it just depends on, what you're looking for. All of the information is inside of the app. Most apps have the same thing, where there's a help file where you can go in and get more information. All right, guys, I'm going to bring this video to an end. And, I end them all basically the same way. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to ride with me and, check out these videos. But more importantly, I want you guys to stay safe. Wash your hands. I can't say that enough. Take care of your loved ones, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace. I'm out.